Peace, family. What's up? What's up to all the Moors out there? Basically, just want to talk with everybody real quick and just provide a real short and sweet Moorish take on some current events, right? And that's pretty much it. So like, it's gonna be a short video, and just gonna talk about some of the stuff you've seen in the news, some of the crazy stories. When you watch the news, they always have these little fluff pieces, right? Just little stories that they play all over the country, and it'll be like the same clip no matter where you're at. Like there's even clips you can see, like, you know, you can look them up on YouTube, where they'll be cutting up the story, right? And it'll be different news, different reporters speaking, but they're all like finishing each other's sentence because they're just reading a script. And like say like, for example, they're telling you a story about some little kid that lost his dog, and the dog came back to the family and found his way back home, right? So they're telling this little fluff piece, and they'll start off like maybe they're in Ohio, and then they'll cut to the reporters in New York, and the reporters in every different city, and they're all finishing each other's sentence because they're all just reading a script, right? So these are just like little fluff pieces, right? Little stories that they just play all over the place. They're not really important. They just putting those in there for entertainment or just to keep people distracted, right? And so there was another one that was out today where, like, you probably saw it, where there's some dude, European dude, he was American, I think, but he was of European descent, and he was in the Sentinel Islands for some reason, and he got killed, right? And so, like, for people who don't know what the Sentinel Islands are and, you know, what that's about, the Sentinel Islands are, like, I think in the Indian Ocean. Like, it's not that far from India. And it's one of the places that hasn't been as colonized as other places in the world. There's a few places like that. Like, there's another island, like, called Vanuatu, right? And all of these places, like the Sentinel Islands, Vanuatu, these are dark-skinned Moors, okay? Like, they're without doubt Asiatics, dark-skinned, you know, tight curls, nappy hair. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? These are straight-up brothers and sisters, right? And, like, I mean, it's like that all over the world. That's the crazy part. You know, islands like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean are like this, right? And these people, you know, that know their history, they know they've been there for like a long time, you know? So they can't really tell these people that, hey, you came from Africa, somehow you got all the way out there. They definitely didn't get there through the slave trade. Okay, so this is like a known fact. And I was trying to think of, like, you know, a place that I can name, but I can't remember, like, right off the top of my head. But you can look this up. Just look it up. Okay? There's brothers and sisters all over the place. But in the Sentinel Islands, right, they've been fighting it because, and they'll tell you that they're real primitive, and they, you know, they are for the most part primitive, but they fought colonization not because they're like so cut off, they don't really know anything. It's because they've been exposed enough to the European colonization that they know better. There's other islands and people like that are close to India too, and they're, like I said, they're Asiatics, straight up brothers and sisters, and some of them have been colonized, okay? And they've been ransacked and ran through, okay? Like, I'm going to tell you about something about this place and about that area that you won't hear in the news, because I'm going to tell you the official story, and then I'm going to give you the real deal, the Moorish perspective, because that's what we do, Moors in America. So, Sentinel Islands, right? I saw a video, like, it was old footage from like the 50s, 60s, and they showed like the indigenous people, and like I said, they're what they would call Africans. Okay, so the indigenous people, they would show them, like, the camera people, the crews would come up close to the island, and they'll come running at them with spears and stuff, you know, throwing spears at them, because they don't want outsiders, right? And so that's the official story. And the Solomon Islands too, I believe, are like that. So the story that they're telling now is about this dude of European descent. He goes there and he's actually like making Facebook posts about it and talking about how he wants to establish the kingdom of Jesus there. Right? The nerve of this dude. He wants to go establish the kingdom of Jesus there. It's not like these people are asking for it. It's not like they even want visitors or want outsiders coming and messing with them. And see, that's the thing. They do have trade set up with, with other people, So they're not like completely cut off like they would tell you. All right? Because we're talking about grown folks. These are people, they do have, systems and things set up. So they don't want outsiders. So this dude, the nerve of him, right? He's a missionary or whatever. And so he's, telling everybody online that he wants to establish trade. And the story is that he wound up going there a few times and he winds up finally getting killed. They kill him. And that's it. That's the official story. That's it. He got killed. They say this Indian dude took him over there on a boat. So the Indian dude might wind up getting in trouble. But, that's the official story. Now I'm going to give you something that they don't tell you. There's other areas, like other islands in that area that have been ran through, okay? That did get colonized. And once again, these are the people that they would call Africans, even though they can't call them Africans because they're from this region. They're from these islands, and they've been there for a long time. So what happened was these other places got ran through and colonized, and now they're in that area. They have this thing that I guess you could call a human safari. So there's areas there where they have human safaris. Listen to this. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. Where they actually bring in people, like Hindu, Indian people, Pakistani, all types of people, Europeans, Americans. They come to these human safaris so that they can ride around in buses and stuff, looking at the primitive people, right? Looking at how they live. And the people are exploited, right? And so when they come through and do this, now that's messed up because they're exploiting people, but that's not it. It's not just this humiliating thing. That's bad enough. But no, they also, once they colonized it, they brought in disease and STDs, because they're nasty and filthy. They come through, they're corrupting the people. These people were cool. For the most part, they had good health. Now they're getting heart disease and diabetes and all this stuff. Now they're having alcohol problems and drug problems. The people are kind of like, compared to us, they're like, I wouldn't say naive, but they're vulnerable, okay? And so, yeah, they're simple. So what happens is they're raping them. These Europeans are going in there and they're raping little girls, man. Okay? And I'm not like that concerned with their plight, but I'm a human. I'm real. Like, that's not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happens. And so this is why the people on that Sentinel Island in particular, like, heck no. We don't want y'all here. Okay? They're not that primitive. They know. They're aware of what's going on, and they're like, you're not coming here with that mess. We'll die before, you know what I'm saying? We'd rather die fighting than allow y'all to come do that to us. So like I was saying, these other places like the Sentinel Islands, they come through on some, we're missionaries. We want to set up the kingdom of Jesus. They're not helping. Mind you, they're not helping. We want to come and do this. They allow them to do that, and they got ran through. So now they coming through. They raping their children. They're exploiting them. They're making money off of them. And everyone's messed up because even the Indian people, they're messed up. They're heathens too, the way that they treat these people. So they're no good either. They're trash. So they're exploiting them. The Europeans are exploiting them. All the foreigners and people they're bringing in, they're exploiting them. And then when they come in, they they take everything down. Of course, they got to have their Coke bottles and their, they're trash. They got to have their snacks and stuff. So they coming through polluting and messing everything up. And they got to have drugs,
that they have.
Same thing they do all over the world.
When they came over here, so they were savages. They were simple. they didn't have civilization, and it's like, sure they do. They're living good without you, natural in harmony with the earth.
Yeah, so like when you see this stuff, I mean, like for the most part, you probably know better. You like whatever, dude. You ain't feeling sorry for this dude. But I just had to put that in the proper perspective because it's more to it than that. No one's gonna tell you that. Like no one's gonna tell you about this human safari stuff and all this crazy mess that they got going on there because most people don't know about that. So it's not all good. It's not all innocent. It's not all cool. Dude's not like look, missionaries, they're colonizers. They're colonizers. I'm so glad Black Panther came out and they put it in the proper perspective because it's like, yeah, we were already referring to them as colonizers, but they kind of just blew that up and made it, more widespread, like kind of exposed that to the mainstream because even though they teach people about colonialism in the school, they make it seem like it was a thing of the past. Well, it's like, yo, if these people are still here, they still represent that because they still have to subjugate you because that's how they live and how they function. And so the missionaries, they try to trick you into thinking they're coming to spread, the good gospel, the good word, but it's not the good word because when they brought it here, it didn't make things better, right? They brought it and they brought pestilence. They brought, you know what I'm saying, debauchery. They raped, murdered, robbed, and pillaged. Okay? And they still get off on subjugating you. And what were they doing here? What did Ku Klux Klan come and burn on the lawns, the crosses? What was the whole town showing up here to do? Jim Crow days. Hang everybody, hanging people from trees out in the open, burning people alive. All in the name of, Christianity. Okay? So like, don't come at me with that missionary stuff. Don't come here knocking at the door talking about you Mormon, you're who else comes? Jehovah's Witness, any of that stuff. Don't come trying to propagate that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, okay, this is no good. This is the Crusades, and so that's a tactic of war. And so, like I said, I can't speak for those people, but I'm touching on that from a Moorish perspective because I know it's not all good.
They killed that white boy.
Yeah, they may. Who knows? They may try to turn that into a play or something to say, hey, we need to go in here. We need to update them. We need to educate them on how things are in the world because they're suffering. They need to know. Who knows? I mean, I hope it don't go that route, but I'm just saying, man, these people would rather die fighting than, get colonized because they know better. And then they're not out of it. There's people like them who've been messed up and they know this. And they don't want those problems. Okay? So now you know. And you can spread the word and let people know. You can share this video so other people can know. So it's like, dude, people like that, they go places and they get killed or whatever happens to them. Who cares? They're not innocent. These are troublemakers. They're problems. They're colonizers. And they're coming to ruin things. They're not trying to make things better. They're trying to help to expand the footprint of the British Empire. Expand the footprint of colonialism. So it's no good. It's nasty. That's just a way of hiding the true intent. Okay? And so, just wanted to share that. I mean, this like I said, it's a short video. There's nothing really else to say on that. It is what it is. And you have to put things in a proper perspective. Like, I'm not doing anything, not being disrespectful, disrespecting the person who lost their life, any of that stuff. I'm just keeping it real and letting it be known that things aren't all innocent. And lovely and how they're being told. Because they're not, in that story about the dude getting killed, they're not going to tell you that in that area they're doing human safaris and human trafficking, and all this other stuff. They're not going to tell you how they ran through those people and just messed up everything. They're in there messing up the people, messing up the environment. They're always worried about endangered animals. Oh, another animal disappeared. They're doing that too, okay? And even worse things. So it's like everything possible. They come in every way, make it worse. So, just had to say that because it's true. And like I said, you're not going to hear this anywhere else. And the news is so watered down and fake and phony, and just there's no way they could deliver this type of message. I mean, this is like the only place you'll get it from. And like I said, I don't hear anyone else saying this because most people don't know. Okay? So I was just touching on that, to get the word out. It's not all cool. It's not all good. And when you see these folks out here doing that, I'll put it like this, right? We used to live in Brazil. I moved to Brazil a couple years ago, lived there with my wife and children, and it's like, okay, we're in a foreign land. We're seeing Mormons there, right? Isn't that Church of Latter-day Saints? Mormons. So they there, and they doing the same thing they do here. We see them in Memphis. Yeah, everywhere there's a hood, we see them at. And they always come to the hood because they always come to the indigenous folks. They always go to wherever the indigenous people are, and they try to convert them because they're missionaries, because they're colonizers, right? And it is really messed up when they, like, get a brother to do it. They, like, trick somebody. It's like, dude, you don't even know what you're getting into. But it's like, that's what they do, man. So we would see them there, like, from here. And they would be all shocked. Because this is the thing, right? I'm in Brazil, chilling. And I'm not trying to blend in, but I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm down there with dreads. We chilling. We look like Brazilians. We look like the indigenous population, like the real Brazilians. Because Brazil's just like here, where you have all different ethnicities. But most of the people, even more so than here, most of the people are the ones they call, misnomered as black, Moors, right? And so when we're there, these Mormons, they see us, and they're trying to speak Portuguese because they're out there trying to get, fool people into joining their fake religion, and they didn't even know that we're American because we look like the indigenous population, and they're all shocked to hear us speaking fluent English and up on everything already. It's like it's crazy, And I just want to say that because, like, you'll see them in South Central. You'll see them in the hood. You'll see them, like, you know what I'm saying, in every hood in America, okay? Because they have to go to where the indigenous people are because that's what they've been doing for centuries now. All right? And so, no, it's not all good. No, when your friends of European descent are going off to Kenya and going off to, Rwanda and all these places where it's like, what the hell are you doing there? You have no business there. When they're going off to these places, it's not all good. All right? And some of these people, like, they're going there under the auspices of being in the mission because they're getting a free ticket to go travel. But even there, they're going to do that, and they're going to go off and be doing drugs and trying to get with hookers and stuff like that, right? Hookers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them some of them are so grimy that even when they do this stuff on a mission, they're going to be going there trying to do dirt, right? It's bad enough they're trying to spread this mess. So, you know what I'm saying? It is not all good, and it's not what you're told on the surface. And I ain't saying anything wrong. I'm just telling it like it is. They're not innocent. That's the only message I wanted really to deliver. You guys need to be wary. The Crusades hadn't ended. It's still going on. And you can see that it's obvious. The media is, against Islam, and it's been like that for the longest. And just keep your eyes open, and share this video, like it, share it, and subscribe, and also go to moorsinamerica.com, and that's pretty much it. Just keep tuning in. If you didn't see the Thanksgiving video that's on here, check it out. All right, it's Thanksgiving from a Moorish perspective, right? And yeah, we just trying to tell the truth. That's it. Not trying. We telling the truth, and that's it. Just putting everything in the proper perspective. And on that note, I'm out. Y'all check this book out too that you see. That's The Consecrated Talisman by Prince Uriel Bey. So I'm going over it myself now. But that's it. On that note, I'm out. Peace.